Yes, my name is Ephantus. I'm a baker. This is Ahava Cakes. Ahava Cakes, we are a cake baking company where we bake all type of cakes. So today we are going to demonstrate how to bake one of the most famous cakes. So right now we are going to start by baking your vanilla cake. It's very delicious. You are going to follow step by step as we start from measuring our ingredients to mixing them up to baking. So karibuni sana. We are going to start with preparing our baking pan or what we call the baking tin. We are going to train it first of all with what we call a grease-proof paper. She has already measured its circumference. Now she's going to cut. Yeah, you should go to measure before you cut your grease-proof paper to the size of your tin. It's a very important paper. It will prevent our cake from burning out and also prevent our cake from sticking on the floor of our baking pan. We are going to use a brush to apply inside the baking pan. Just a little bit of it. And we are done. We have applied. We pick our paper. We put it inside the entry. Then we are going to use the normal flour that we are using for baking. We pick a little bit of it. We put inside and we dust. This is how we do dusting. Dusting, the importance of dusting is we have applied oil, so dusting is actually preventing our cake from burning out from a lot of heat, and also the cake from sticking on the walls of your baking pan. Once we are done with our baking pan, we keep it aside. From now we are going to start measuring our ingredients. It's usually good to start with measuring your dry ingredients. In this case, we are going to start with measuring our flour. We are going to do a 1 kg vanilla cake. So we are going to use 350 grams of flour. Measure. There we go. So we are going to use 4 teaspoons of baking flour. We measure it and we don't heap. Is 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to mix our flour and baking powder just a little bit. Then we are going to sieve our flour. Yes. It's very important to sieve, because sieving, of course, it removes any particles from your flour, in case there is any. Also, it helps with aeration of your flour. Next, we are going to measure the other ingredients in our vanilla cake. We are going to use sugar and margarine. It's very good to measure your ingredients, because your ingredients and their quantities will determine the quality of your cake. It also adds up to your costing of your cake. So we have now done our margarine 400. Then on top of margarine, we are going to add sugar 200 grams. This excess, we still return some. There we go, 200 grams of sugar. We are now also going to use eggs. We are going to use 4 pieces of eggs. These eggs, we get them from our market. Maybe 1 egg might be spoiled, so we don't want to spoil the whole egg mixture. That's why we break 1 egg after the other. We are done with our eggs. They are all good and fresh. Yeah, this is vanilla. It is vanilla essence, or what you call vanilla flavor. It's very famous. When you hear about even vanilla yogurt, vanilla cakes, this is what we use. It smells nice. So I add here 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Then we are going to take our whisk. We will whisk our eggs. It's good to whisk them. I've whisked my eggs. Vanilla cake sometimes can be very flat, or it's very common. To spice it up, what we do, we should add some lemon peels. You just take your fresh lemon from the market. You have washed it. You wash it clean. Then we are going to use the normal grater that you use in your house for carrots. We grate it. We just remove the top cover of our lemon. You want to put a lot. It is enough. From here now, we are going now to start mixing. You can mix using your hand, or you can mix using a hand mixer, electric hand mixer. That's what we are going to use. Then, so from here, we are going to move to the next table, whereby we are going to start mixing our ingredients now. This process, we call it now creaming. We are now done with the creaming our sugar and margarine. Now I'm going to add eggs inside. So I pour in my eggs. There inside. Then I mix it. Yeah, cakes, you don't bake cakes like any other food. Cakes usually are baked in a preheated oven. So we are going now to set our oven at the right temperature. So I'm going to set my oven to 160 degrees. Then I'm going to set my oven for about 10 minutes to preheat it. So we are going to time it for first 10 minutes. It's going to preheat. Remember we had our lemon peels. So I'm going first of all to put my lemon peel inside my butter. And mix it, mix a little bit. Yes, now we are going to start putting our flour. So I'm going to put my flour using my spatula. Just a little bit of it. Then I fold in like this. Almost like ugari, but not exactly like the way you do ugari. And my dough cakes are very sensitive, so if you just mix it hurriedly, you may not have a good final product. I have my milk, so I keep on adding milk bit by bit. For your 1 kg cake, 1 cup of milk is enough. And 1 cup of milk is equivalent to 250 milliliters. You fold in. This is what we call folding in. And our butter is ready now. For good baking, so that you give your customer the right quantity of your cake, it's good to measure the cake before you bake it. And my dear, you exclude the weight of the baking pan. You don't include the weight of the baking pan. 200 grams of sugar, 200 grams of margarine, 4 eggs. You will get comfortably a 1 kg cake. It's good you flatten your butter inside the baking pan. It will give it an even raising up as it raises in the oven. As you continue to flatten your cake in the pan, it's good to remember mixing of the cake is the most important part of the baking process, because you must make sure all ingredients are right. Like now in our cake, we have our flour, we have our margarine, we have our sugar, we have our eggs, we have our baking powder. We spice it up with a bit of lemon peels. Then we have our vanilla. because a cake, once you put your cake in the oven, you can't open the oven door to add something else. So now our oven is almost ready. Well, we had set it. Now we are going to take our cake, we put inside the oven. And this cake, using this oven, cooks with about 50 minutes. So we are going to set our time now to 50 minutes. We turn the knob to 50 minutes. Then we open the oven door. We place our cake right in the middle. Be careful not to touch the sides of the oven. It's hot to burn your hands. So we are done with our cake. It's inside the oven. The ovens are good because they have a window. As the cake continues baking, you can always look through and see your cake comfortably in the oven, the way it is behaving. And it will tell you how your cake is going to come out. Now, our timer has alerted us. The time is up, that we are set for the baking process. So what we are going to do, we are going to open the oven door. Use a cloth or gloves to get hold of our baking pan. And we don't just remove the cake. We use a skewer, this is a skewer, or a sharp knife to test whether our cake is ready. A cake that is ready, it is bouncy on top. It bounces on top. Then, if you use a skewer to put in there, it comes out clean. If it is not ready, it comes out with a bit of flour or a bit dirty. This cake is now ready. We remove it. We close the oven door. Then we place it on the cooling rack down here for it to cool down. Then we remove our cake from the baking pan or your tin. You can now put it still there to cool it. It will take about almost an hour or 2 hours the cake to cool. Once it is cool, then your cake is ready for consumption. You can just eat it the way it is, or you can decorate it using your cream, the color that you want, and your cake will be good and ready for consumption. There is our cake, ready, well baked, ready to be eaten, and a yummy cake. This is our vanilla cake.